increíble podcast en realidad. Ok. Ya al final del directo voy a compartir un video que Andy pudo preparar para nosotros, para la comunidad, para que pueda mostrárselos a ustedes. Así que estén pendientes de este video que justamente se ve en la parte derecha de sus pantallas para poder mostrárselo al final de este podcast. ¿Ok? Bien, creo que estamos con la audiencia suficiente para poder empezar. No olvidar que esta entrevista está en inglés al 100%, con traducción obviamente de Efraín, ni bien pueda contestar nuestro amigo Andy las preguntas, y ya lo van a poder ver a partir del día de mañana en YouTube con la traducción automática, ¿no? de la propia plataforma. Bien, entonces listo, Efraín, ya les voy a dar el pase. Dale.
Ya.
Ok, estamos live.
Buena gente. Good night, everyone. Welcome. Bienvenidos a todos. Hoy tenemos una de las más anticipadas entrevistas con nuestro amigo Andy Sekz, uno de los mejores boomers probablemente de todos los tiempos y ex integrante, probablemente el único activo de 4Stars. Entonces, hay mucho de qué hablar, mucha historia que va a salir hoy, sobre todo del GB americano y de los jugadores de Norteamérica, ¿no? Cualquier pregunta es bienvenida. Y bien, no sé, Renato, si estás listo para empezar. Perfecto. Bueno, vamos a hacer como siempre las preguntas en inglés, luego una traducción a español y empezamos. All right, Andy, you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me well?
Hey, yes, sir.
Awesome. Let's get this rolling. Thank you so much for having me here. I just wanted to say a few words. I think this is a great thanks. I think this is a great opportunity for GB community, especially for us English speakers, to intertwine with the others. So really am thankful to have this opportunity and to share my story. Thank you so much.
Dude, we're thankful for you being here and for enlightening everyone in the community with all your stories, your knowledge. You're obviously one of the most skilled players out there now, always. So, and we go way back, way back. So we got a lot to talk about. It's the first time you and I actually get together like this. So I'm looking forward to it both on a personal level and on a, as a player. And for those who don't know you, allow me to introduce yourself. So this is Sekz, for everyone that doesn't know. And he's been an excellent player for, over a decade now, probably a couple. Sekz started out, correct me where I'm wrong, because my memory fades me, but started out as a player for the Guild 44. Am I correct?
You are wrong.
Oh. Okay.
All right, going back. Right. So here's a little bit of a story. Going back way before four stars.
Right.
So I don't know when the first time I met you, but I was in the guild Sonata. Do you remember that, Ephraim? Sonata Guild? Oh no, it's with Tim and Josh, Twisted, and I actually forgot Tim's IGN. But you asked us for a guild war. And to be honest, that's the very reason I started playing Boomer, because we got destroyed those games. I believe it was 5-2. Can't believe you forgot about that. That was 15 or so years ago, and I still remember.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. So oh man, wow. Okay, so tell me about we'll get into that first, and then we'll talk about everything else, right? So tell me first about the year that you started playing Gunbound, and sort of how did you get into the game? Was it through friends, And lastly, I'm curious to learn, was Boomer always what you played?
I see. So to start off, I started the game in the year 2006. Thank you, John, who, if you're listening to this, for reminding me. But Boomer is actually not my first mobile. My first mobile is actually Sekz and Knack. And yeah. And the problem is with those mobiles that one, I was a bad Knack player back then. I can't hit the far range, of course. I always go for the taps. And for Sekz, it's the same thing as well. It's really hard to maneuver that in far range. So that's the reason why I started playing Boomer and to start that off, because I know how flexible it is. Yeah. And I'm glad to play it against you for the first time. That's also another side information too. So you're the reason why I play Boomer, basically.
I'm glad I the butterfly effect, man. Wow. So so you started in 2006, started playing with Sekz or Knack. That makes sense now because you still play Knack and you're very good at it. So we'll get into that in a few minutes because I've got some personal questions there too. You know, Knack is personal to me. So, but so you started out through a friend, I guess, John? Who's John?
Oh, actually, John, I did start off, but he asked me one question before the podcast on what year did I actually start, and 2006 came right on his head and my head, and I guess that's how it went. Because I totally, to be honest, when I first thought of that question, the answer I got was, how old was I when I was in 6th grade? So I think it's around that age, I believe. So hopefully that's right.
Started playing around 6th grade. Cool. All right. And so you start playing Gunbound. You know, I guess by the time that you and I met, if I asked you for a guild war, is because I thought you were decent players and good players, right? So I asked for a challenge. So how did you meet that guild? What was it again?
Sonata. I think it's like the card, I believe.
Of course, Sonata.
Oh, you remember? Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so you were in Sonata. There was a good Trico player. Who was he?
That was Tim. That's who you were talking about. Tim.
Okay. Yes. I don't remember his name, but I remember his. I remember he was a great Trico player who came up just around the same time as you did. Okay. All right. So now I'm catching on. All right. So you and I meet. We play this guild war. I was already in PF4, I assume.
That's correct.
Do you remember who I played with?
I actually do not know, to be honest. I just remember you just destroyed us, honestly. And
I was playing Knack always, right?
You were playing Knack, obviously, yes. But I think you were giving us a lot of pointers in that guild war after the guild war ended, and it actually helped us as a guild to become stronger and help us learn about strategy, what type of shots we should be doing, who we should be aiming for, the daily list. So it's basically the foundation to everything else that you see here today. So, thank you.
Dude, holy shit. I'm glad I was a good influence. Anyways, this is not about me. This is all about you. So, back to you. Let me hold on there and let me quickly translate so people can catch up. So, en español, rapidito de lo que hemos hablado hasta el momento. Andy y yo nos conocemos de tanto tiempo que ni siquiera nos recordamos de cómo nos conocemos. Entonces, él me acaba de contar la primera historia de cuando él me conoció y yo tenía hasta equivocado el guild al que él pertenecía. Entonces, la historia de Andy es que comienza jugando en el 2006. Comienza jugando de Knack y de Asshot, así como su primito, ¿ya? Claro, porque era fácil dar de cerca y el problema era de largo rango, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, él jugó feliz GB toda su vida polla hasta que llegó un Knack y le pidió un Guild War y ahí me conoció. Aparentemente yo les pedí a su clan Sonata un versus de 3 versus 3 y aparentemente PF4 ganó 5-2 según su historia. Y fue ahí que él comienza, a partir de ese momento, él comienza a jugar Boomer, porque se dio cuenta que sus móviles no eran flexibles y él quería flexibilidad. Así que, oh sorpresa, es en parte a mí un poco que tenemos a probablemente el mejor Boomer de todos los tiempos aquí presente hoy. ¿Cómo da vueltas la vida? ¿Cómo da vueltas la vida? Y bueno, hasta ahí hemos llegado. To continue now, Andy. So after that, after you and I meet, you start. Is that basically the point that you start playing Boomer? And then when did you? I guess what came after Sonata in terms of guilds before? Bring me up to the point that you joined 4 stars.
All right. So, well, a lot of history right there from time in Sonata to 4 stars. So I'll just get to one of the highlights. So there was this guild, I believe it's the Definite Guild with I'm Kev. I don't know if you know about this guild.
I remember I'm Kev.
Yes, so he invited me to his guild, and I believe that's like a next step in my development. And
what is the name of the guild?
It's called Definite Guild.
Definite?
So, yes, Definite. So
Okay.
you have I'm Kev, you have, let's see, who else is there? Oh, remember Kin? Kin was there too, the Trico player.
Yeah.
And we also have a few others, other names too. Intelligent, unfortunately, but yeah, kudos to him, by the way. And we also have Ruben, also a good Trico player as well, so we have a few good players here and there. And I'm Kev is the one who taught me how to play strategy in the first place. He allowed me to understand that it's not always about the dealer list when hitting a certain target. He also is very mindful of his teammates, so gotta make sure that, yeah, delay is only one aspect of the game, correct? You also gotta know your teammates' mobiles, what they can do, and also the players, who's basically carrying these mobiles in the first place, right? So like not every pros and cons. Not every turtle knows how to do spins. Some prefer high angles over others, correct? So just knowing how each player functions and knowing the pros and weaknesses of each player, not mobile, is what helped me, develop as a player as I am now. So kudos to that guild.
Yeah, great point. And so we're now talking what year? Right up to the point that you joined 4 stars.
This is going to be about, I'd say, year 2 to year 3. I believe the first year, it's still me trying to understand feel and understand the adjustments from these feel shots. One thing that might have prolonged me from being from my development is that I don't normally take notes. So I'm just going by my thought, going by my memory, going by my memorization, going by my experience on certain shots. One thing that for me is that I always, if you go on my stream, I tend to say the adjustments a lot. Like, oh, this looks like a +2 from this certain angle, or so forth. It's just me doing the trial and error portion of that, and just understanding like what type of adjustments I need to make to hit certain shots.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a few follow-up questions there, but first let me translate. Entonces ahora estamos hablando de qué viene después de Sonata y hasta el punto que él entra a 4 estrellas. Bueno, pasó por un clan que lo marcó bastante como jugador, Definite, con jugadores como Amkev. Uno que sí deben conocer es Kin, K-I-N-H, un trico, muy buen trico, que tenía videos de haciendo spins con tornado, etcétera, ¿no? Con espejos, muy conocido, Kin. Y bueno, en ese guild, gracias a Amkev, lo ayuda a aprender no solamente delay, pero también cosas importantes como, por ejemplo, entender a tus jugadores, no solamente los móviles, las limitaciones de cada móvil, pero también las preferencias o limitaciones de cada jugador, ¿no? Por ejemplo, hay tortugas que no les gusta el Sky, prefieren el time bomb. Entonces, conociendo a tu equipo, a los jugadores que están encima de esos móviles de tu equipo, es lo importante, ¿no? También le pregunté, a partir de este Guild War con PF4, Boomer, como les dije, comienza a jugar Boomer. Me dice también en ese momento que después de ese Guild War, que yo me tomé el tiempo de darles consejos y enseñarles un poco de estrategia. Así que conforme fue aprendiendo, llegó a jugar Boomer de una forma, le vamos a preguntar más ahorita, pero llegó a jugar Boomer de una forma en la cual él no necesita charts, no necesita fórmulas, está acostumbrado a hacer ajustes según su experiencia, nunca ha apuntado nada de GB, y eso es quizás lo que él, según él dice, lo que lo retrasó a llegar a Pro, pero ya a este nivel, él tiene su stream, no sabía yo, pero él tiene su stream, vamos a dejar el nombre de su stream ahí para que todos lo sigan, y los que juegan Boomer, este es el mejor ejemplo que pueden seguir, es así de simple, claro que habla inglés, pero igual en su stream él va diciendo cómo él ajusta los vientos, entonces, y juega 100% field desde siempre, entonces siempre ha aprendido a ajustar a su propia forma, no con las fórmulas tradicionales. Vamos a preguntarle un poco más de eso. All right, Andy, so that leads me to my next question. How do you play? Did you use win charts? Do you memorize win zero? Did you ever divide your screen? Did you ever use Excel, not to play, but maybe to perfect any formulas? We're talking about 4 stars with the creator of Excel, Machine himself, right? So I'm sure you had some close contact with the tool, right? So please.
All right. Well, let's going back to Tomer. I recently talked to him about last year, and he's doing well right now as a professional dancer. So I'm happy for him.
Wait, who is this?
Tomer Machine. That's him.
He's a professional dancer.
Yes. So yeah. So I'm happy.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
This man has the IQ of a fucking astronaut. And he's a professional. Good for him.
Good for him. I'm happy for him, and yeah, he's performing. He's performing right now. So
I did not expect that. Holy shit! Well, I want to talk. That's a great person we can interview next. If you still have contact with him, I would love to keep in contact with. He's my friend too. We always kept a good relationship. So let's connect me with him later.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I can talk to him and see what he's up to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you know, my friend. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Well, all right.
All right. So continue on.
All right. So for those, I guess Excel was not in my mind at the moment, so I actually memorized everything. So from 0 win, I would memorize, no paper, no notes, no nothing. Up to 20 win, 25, 26. But it's still in my initial phases of my development. I still have the feel going. I still don't know every win so far. I still don't know every win right now. I mean, Gunbound is such a great game just because knowledge is infinite, experience is infinite. You can keep going. The ceiling is just, there is no ceiling. So right. I'm still learning, and I'm still a student of the game as of now. And unfortunately, I wish I did take notes. Because right now I forgot a lot of things, so I'm just trying to understand and learn again and retool. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, Excel was not in thought of my head until later on. Yeah.
4 stars, obviously very famous. One of the inventors, if not one of the. They maybe did not invent the win chart, but they probably popularized it for just about every freaking mobile out there, right?
That is true. Yes, they did give me. So we do have that private site that shows every win chart known to man.
That's funny.
I didn't use it though when I was in the guild because the way I calculate things is so different from anyone else that it's no point of me using them, right? And plus, I find more satisfactory just learning from myself and my own experience versus, the work of others, because I find it more satisfactory, very much. I feel happier just doing what I do based on my own skills and my own knowledge.
But fool me not, I saw you and Machine in 1v1 rooms, spending a lot of time testing shit.
Oh, yes.
So, what was that about? Yeah, so, I mean, tell me, did you guys ever work on something? Tell me some of those little projects that I know Machine was curious about a lot of things. Angle 50. I remember him telling me a story about Angle 50 for Boomer being practically impossible, and he just couldn't get around understanding Angle 50. So I don't know if you remember that specific story, but any little curiosities that you worked on with Machine like that?
So basically, if we do those 1 versus 1s, normally I would test my own stuff and he would test his own stuff. Like, we don't test the same stuff. I still do that to this day, or used to. One of my good old friends. I believe you remember him, Austin Licks?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we would always go, since I don't remember as much as I used to, we would always do these 1 versus 1s and still do the same thing like me and Mashin did. Just testing shots.
Okay, so, got it.
Yeah.
So I guess you never really got involved with Excel. You never used it to test your stuff. Never really.
No.
Found it interesting.
Never. I think also the reason why is because wind charts are specified on certain angles. My methods are very unorthodox, I would say. The only thing that's the same is maybe 50, like Mashin or Tamir said. That one is a foundation to a lot of things. So it's a very good angle, I believe. So at least especially for boomer players.
All right, let me go ahead and translate this. Entonces, le pregunté un poquito más de cómo aprendió a jugar, mejorar su nivel, si usó fórmulas, charts, Excel, ¿no? Bueno, y al estar él en el clan 4 estrellas, recuerden que el clan 4 estrellas es el original creador del Excel, gracias a Machine. Y Machine y él pasaban mucho tiempo juntos probando cosas. Yo los veía, recuerdo, en salas de 1 versus 1, horas de horas, probando cosas. Entonces, le pregunté acerca de todo eso. Me dice que Machine probaba lo suyo, que probablemente era para Excel, y él probaba lo suyo. Que él nunca utilizó el Excel porque no le encontró mucho interés, y también porque el Excel y los charts funcionan la mayoría de veces en base a un ángulo, ¿no? Por ejemplo, si es un BJSL de 70, 75, 80, o si es un poder fijo 3, 3.0, 4.0, entonces se veía siempre como que atado a ese método, y sus métodos son bastante ortodoxos. Él no juega en base a un ángulo, sino es en base a memorización de todo. Se memorizó el viento 0 en varias posiciones, varios vientos, 0 y hasta 26. Y su filosofía con el juego es básicamente de que todavía es un estudiante del juego, todavía aprende, todavía lo estudia. Nuevamente se culpa de no haber tomado notas nunca, porque cuando deja de jugar pues tiene que reaprender. Pero ese es su estilo, ese siempre ha sido su estilo, entonces no lo quiere cambiar, no lo puede cambiar. Entonces, bastante recalcable es esto, porque no necesariamente todos tienen que jugar con WinChart, no necesariamente todos tienen que jugar con la pantalla dividida o aprender así. El GB es un juego para él muy interesante, donde la experiencia es infinita, ¿no? Por eso estamos jukeados tantos años, porque no hay techo. El techo es lo que tú quieras, a donde tú quieras llevar tu skill, ¿no? Entonces esa filosofía es buena adoptar, porque un jugador que ha estado en 4 estrellas, que ha estado al nivel más alto del juego, que diga que todavía sigue estudiando el juego y que todavía se pasa tiempo en salas de 1 versus 1 probando cosas, es admirable. Entonces, sigamos. All right, so now we get into the 4 stars story, right? So a lot of questions there. What caught your interest about 4 stars? How did you meet them? Did you ever play against them before joining them? And you know, who invited you in? What was that process like? I'm sure it wasn't just, hey, you want to join, right?
All right, well, there's a long story. Let's just say that I've been attracted to this guild for so long. It took me 2 years to get in, I'll tell you that. 2 years. I know that I had a lot of work to do and a lot of development to do. And the reason why I liked to join this guild in the first place was, one, Billy was, I believe, one of the best boomers back in his day. And he pushed me the way. I had to try out a lot of times. Most of the times I would fail. But one thing that they always tell me that I think is very important is, what divides you between all the other boomers that want to join this guild? That's a big question, right? Like, you see a lot of boomers, you see a lot of boomers that have the same methods, the same shots. Like, what makes me different? What makes me different? And
so what did you say?
I said, all right, let's go find something new for me to do, new development. And one thing I've been prominent on is the Asshot, the turn shot. And
I knew it. I knew it.
That's the reason.
My next question: are you the creator? Are you the inventor of the boomer Asshot? When you're up close range, right? You turn and you hit him for like double the damage, right? Are you the creator of that?
I am infinitely I am confidently will say that I am one of the creators of that. I don't know if there's anyone else before that, but I see no one did it, so I did it. And that's one thing that 4-star saw and helped me climb to the top. And I've learned different methods of Asshot, land dodge shots. You know Boomer has 4 hits, right? Well,
what do you mean?
Like when you do a shot 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits.
Right. 4 hits, yes.
Most players in Boomer would use to dodge and land, but for me, I use it as a way to use it as a shield and Asshot around the land to keep myself safe, because Boomer is defensively really weak, right?
Mm-hmm. So, exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so basically, I learned how to have creative ways to use my mobile to dodge land and make sure I'm still safe while still hitting the target.
Yeah, so you basically discovered a new way of playing Boomer, kind of like an ice player that exploits the Asshot with protection techniques, right? So, all right, so you are the creator. Well, I'm glad you weren't humble there. All right, so back to 4 stars. What were those tryouts like? What did you have to do? Did you have to beat them 1-on-1? Did you have to show strategy? Tell us about that.
So there's 2 different modes that I remember back in the day. One is the 1 versus 1. See how you are as an individual player and your skill sets and how you manage between yourself versus another player of similar or higher skill. And the next method, one thing that Billy always emphasizes that it's also entwined in my mind is that Boomer is the captain of the team usually the one with the most flexibility, who can hit any targets and make other mobiles better based on your hits, based on the daily list, of course. Yeah. And one thing that's always put me down is that I'm not as vocal. I'm not a vocal leader. I'm not going to tell people what to do. I'm going to adapt and shoot and try and assume that others know what I'm trying to do and accomplish in the team setting. And Billy caught that. He says that I need to be more vocal. I need to let them know, portray what I see, what type of shots I'm planning to do, how I set up my team, and so forth and so on. So communication is very important, very much in 4 stars.
Yeah, understand. And what was the other format? 1v1 and what else?
It was 1v1 and 3 versus 3. Those are the 2. So we're basically paired up with others that might be on your team for a guild war, for example. Like me and Jer, I believe. Well, it would be me and him sometimes, and Mashin, right? So that's one team right there versus another team in 4 stars. And we
Jer is the Argonaut player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy?
Yes, that's him.
I forgot his IGN.
It was Demon with a Q, I believe.
That's right, Demon. Man, my good old friend Demon.
Dude, I think he's still on Facebook. I can always check. We still have the 4 stars guild page. It's still there. I'm still in it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I remember the forum. Of course, the forum was famous, right?
The forum,
yeah. And so, what year is this now? This is year 3, so 2009. That you're in forced. Probably a little bit earlier, no? 2008, 2009.
I think it's about 2009, 2010.
Yeah, okay, so it took you a while.
It took me a while, definitely. I mean, I learned a lot from other players along the way that basically I embody in terms of their skill set. Would you like to know about those players?
Sure, I would.
Oh yeah, so you remember this 4 member Noxed, Dave? He's one of the best,
yeah.
I think.
Yes. Very fast boomer. Yeah.
Very fast boomer.
He's Latino, isn't he?
I actually don't know. No. I never asked him.
No, Noxed.
Yes, that's him.
I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's from Venezuela.
Ah, I see. Yeah, well, he's one of the reasons why I play the way I do in most cases.
That makes sense, yeah. Very similar style now that you mention it. Because you have your own style, but Nox was a very fast and accurate player. You know, different from Billy, though. Billy was always, like, angle 50.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what position, just, like, the first angle he would looked at, it was either the first angle he had on hand or angle 50, right?
Agreed, yes.
So that's Billy. Repul, remember Repul? Same, very similar to Billy. Now that you mentioned Nox, you are more akin to Nox. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, also, I did learn from Billy too. He's the person that taught me how to slice move, actually.
Yeah, for speed. Yeah, for speed.
Speed.
Yeah.
Just because he's a slice player, not a drag player. So, learn that from him.
Got it. Let's make a quick pause here to translate before we lose anything. So, entonces, un poquito para traducir en español. Ahora ya sí estamos hablando de la historia en 4 estrellas. Es más o menos año 2009, 2010. Y para que aprendan un poco los clanes de hoy en día, le costó 2 años entrar a 4 estrellas. Probó varias veces y no lo dejaban entrar. ¿Por qué? Básicamente la razón por la que no lo dejaban entrar era porque 4 estrellas le preguntaba a él, ¿qué tienes tú de diferente de todos los otros boomers buenos que hay? Y para responder esa pregunta, él tuvo que jugar solo y que quede el récord, es el creador del Asshot de Boomer. Cuando está cerca a su contrincante y hace el Asshot como para que le saque el doble de daño, Sekz es el creador de ese truco. Y ese truco es lo que le abre el pase al clan 4 estrellas. Eso es lo que lo diferenció de todos los boomers en la historia del juego y ganó su pase al clan. Probablemente el clan más histórico del juego. Entonces, nos cuenta también de jugadores de 4 estrellas que lo ayudaron a mejorar. Obviamente Billy Tendulkar le enseñó trucos como por ejemplo moverte con el slice, ¿no? Entonces como para ganar segundos te mueves mientras aprietas el slice, buscas tu ángulo, si sabes que tienes un tiro de 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, para ahorrar tiempo te vas moviendo con eso. Y por eso es que 4 estrellas era conocido como uno de los clanes más rápidos, ¿no? Por trucos como ese. También nos cuenta del jugador Nox. Nox, según yo recuerdo, creo que era latino, creo que era venezolano, un jugador muy rápido y muy preciso de Boomer. Él también debe tener una historia interesante porque le costó bastante llegar a un alto nivel de jugador también, o sea, le tomó bastante tiempo, yo lo recuerdo. Pero ahora que lo menciona Andy, Sekz tiene un estilo bastante parecido a Nox, que era jugar rápido, tiros a veces bajos, hooks bajos de feel, ¿no? Mientras que Billy Tendulkar era o el primer ángulo que le sale después de que le dan un tiro y en 0 segundos te dispara con el primer ángulo que le sale, o su ángulo 50, que para Sekz también es ángulo muy básico en los jugadores Boomer. Y bueno, todavía me comenta que los foros de 4 estrellas, los grupos de 4 estrellas están vivos. Al entrar, le hicieron 2 pruebas, una de 1 versus 1 y una de 3 versus 3. Entonces, en el 1 versus 1 lo ponían primero contra alguien que está más a su nivel y después lo ponían contra alguien más de más nivel, como para ver cómo comparaban sus resultados. Y en el 3 versus 3 lo ponían en un equipo que probablemente iba a representar al equipo en un Guild War. Entonces, su equipo era el Machine y Demon. Demon era un excelente jugador de Armor, también del clan 4 estrellas. También es uno de los últimos en entrar a 4 estrellas. Yo lo recuerdo desde que empezó a mejorar, entonces como Andy. Entonces yo soy un poco más antiguo que ellos, porque ellos comienzan a mejorar en el año 2007, para cuando ya PF4 ya estaba al nivel de 4 estrellas y nos mechábamos. Entonces ellos se acuerdan de mí como uno de los que ya ¿no? Estaba en la escena de los clanes top, y yo me acuerdo de ellos desde que eran más o menos jugadores hasta que eran pro. Entonces, bueno, continuamos. Andy, will 4 stars ever come back?
I want them to. I could beg Billy to come back again. So, quick story short, I asked him to, so we had another server before we went to Gits, and we invite him over to that server, and he decided to not play as much as I hoped he would, so. I could try again. It was a classic, yeah. I believe it's one of our English servers. I believe it's...
Yeah, that was a terrible server. That was a terrible server.
So maybe not the good server for him to get back into it, just because, you know, of his competitive nature. I used to play League of Legends with him too, so I know how competitive he is. So,
yeah, absolutely. Over the top competitive.
Over the top, agreed.
Yeah. My good old friend Billy. Anyways. Alright, so 4 stars. Who do you think is most likely to come back? Maybe not Billy, but who else, right? Demon maybe, or...
I've been trying to get Avi to come back.
Avi?
Yes.
What was his ID?
It was Desi.
Desi, yes. That's right. Oh my god, I hate him. He beat me in a final 1v1 by 1. I remember he beat me 10-9 or something like that. Very good ice player. Yeah, I hate him, but I love him. You know,
and I still talk to him right now. Actually, to this day, I talk to him a lot. Actually,
so Abby, a really nice guy. Always in a great mood. Always, you know, I have a lot of memories with him. Fast player too, man. Annoying. Never miss. Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad that I'm taking you back to memory lane. To be honest, so.
Yeah, I remember Abby, his name. I didn't remember his ID, but I remember him. Dude, I should talk to him. He probably remembers, remember the guild Liquid, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he remembers Liquid Guild.
Yeah. Anyways, so back to 4 stars then. What about Mish?
Oh shoot. What was his IG again? I totally forgot his.
Mishing?
Mish. Oh, Mashin. What about him?
Yeah. No, not Mashing, the creator of the Excel. I guess the most famous Trico out of 4 stars. Rafa, Mishing. Something like that.
Oh, I need to type it out. I actually don't know this. I actually don't remember, actually.
It's like M... So it was M1 SHIGNE.
Oh my, okay, that is so long ago. Is this the Trico? Or...
Yeah.
Yes,
this is Billy's best friend.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I totally forgot about him.
No way!
I totally forgot. Yeah, now it's starting to ring a bell, but yeah. What about him, by the way?
So he's the face, like everybody in Peru and everybody in GB. Like when we think 4 stars, we don't think Tendulkar, we don't think, we don't think anybody else. The first person we think of Peruvians is Mish. Yeah. He was the original. He was like he was a top player, better than Billy. In 2005, right? So before you got into the scene. But anyways, we're all looking for Mish. So if you can...
Oh man, I need to talk to Billy for sure then. Holy, because this is after my time too, so I didn't really have much contact with him back in the day. Like I know of him, know his...
So we're gonna make a list right now, because you guys are, like, your guild is one of my, like, obviously one of my most dear friends. So alright, so Mish, the most famous Trico player, is a little bit before you, so you don't remember much of him. Billy obviously taught you a ton. We talked about Demon. What can you tell me about? You still talk to him? Yeah, I remember. But what else can you tell me about him? He kind of came up with you into the scene, right? You guys kind of, you might have joined 4 stars. You got to be some of the latest recruits, right? Both of you.
Yeah, well, I believe Jer or Demon came in first before me, and I believe he's one of the newer ones before I went into the scene. And he's been a tremendous help with me in terms of my development as well. Because, yeah, so I wasn't really with Billy at the time. I know how good of a Voodoo player he is, but I haven't really played as much as with him as I would want to. So I would be with Demon a lot, and he's one of the players I would, we were always not always together, but if I need competitive practice, I would always go to him.
Do you remember the trickle player, Diesel?
Oh, Diesel.
I don't think he was
his name.
But anyways, let's talk about 4 stars. Mm-hmm. So, what about? Let's first talk about the older guys. So, Remark, Tao. Remember Tao, the Peruvian? He's Asian Peruvian.
Yes, I remember Tao.
What about it was Remark playing Ice or Trico back in the old days with Mish and Billy. So that was the team.
Remark with the 4, right? If I remember right.
What about Fire Owl?
So, story about him now. He did try to come back again a few years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, so he always has this mentality of, oh, low angle's so good, ... He's a low angle player, right? So I saw him one time too, trying to come back to Gunbound, and it didn't work out too much for him, but I wish he kept playing. So this was on the English server right away. Yeah. Okay. This is actually during COVID times, I believe. Okay. So we always have a lot of players coming back during that time.
It's cool. Any contact with him still?
No contact. I wish I talked to him more. So it was like a brief moment, but I did remember him for sure. So.
All right. Mm-hmm. So we've got a few names here. What about Remark and Tao? Do you remember them, or did you ever have a lot of contact with them, or no?
I don't actually have a lot of contact with both players. Is Remark the? He's testing my memory here now. I forgot what mobile he played.
So Remark is I remember Remark for playing just about every freaking mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly Ice. He would play Ice and Trico in Guild Wars, but he was also a Boomer player. He was also an Armor player. He was also a Knack player. Mm-hmm. So there was Remark, and then there was Refrain. He was also in 4 stars, and he was another excellent Boomer that you guys had. I remember him, of course, because he had my name. It was the first time that I learned that my name was part of a word with an R in front. And so now when I introduce myself, I use that. So how do you spell your name? It's like the word refrain without the first R. And I always think of my dude in 4 stars. Imagine that.
Dang. Dude, these old players, man. I wish I played with them. I wish I started Gunbound sooner so I could get accustomed to playing with these such awesome...
I remember all of them. Yeah.
Awesome players, man. You can always hear... You always, on the community, oh, look, it's ... He's from 4 stars. It's super good. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was still I was still climbing the scenes, right? So I believe I was a 3rd gen, 4 stars.
Yeah, last generation 4 stars.
Last gen 4 stars, yes.
So, funny story. When I got introduced to Gunbound, it was Billy, Mish, and Remark who kicked my ass in 3 versus 3, and they inspired me to, up my game. So it all goes around.
Yeah, we get the push for sure, right, from players. So
yeah, they were impressive players, very impressive players. All right, so then let's forward a little bit, and so talk to me about the newer players. So there's you've got Demon, you've got who else were some of the 3rd gen or 2nd generation 4-star players that you had a bit more contact with?
So one player I played outside of Gunbound is Katanana. Do you remember her?
Katana. Yeah, it was a her, right? It was a she.
I met her in real life, actually. Yeah, definitely a her.
Yeah, she was in F the Cops, right?
Yes, that was her. That's her.
That's her. I remember. Yeah, she's the creator of that. All right, cool. Who else?
Oh man, I'm still thinking back then. Who else did I play with? Dude, I wish I had a list because I'm going here blind, honestly. So.
No worries.
Yeah.
So let's try and get in contact with whoever we can. Maybe get an interview out of them, and then maybe we push them.
All right.
Let me make a quick stop here and translate because we talked a lot. Entonces, para un poquito de historia de 4 estrellas, le pregunto de con qué jugadores él se mezcló más. Entonces comenzamos a hablar un poquito de todos. Remark, bueno, él es Andy es la tercera generación de 4 estrellas. Él llega ya al final de la historia del clan, en los últimos 2 años del clan. Ya cuando el clan no jugaba mucho en torneos y los antiguos ya estaban casi retirados, ¿no? Entonces, de Mish casi ni se acuerda, porque Mish, el top de Mish llegó en el 2005 y después dejó de jugar, volvió con Ranyu y Rice, el clan brasilero, en el año 2008, 2009, 2010, pero justo Andy, desde el 2007 al 2009, no se cruza con Mish. De Billy obviamente sí se acuerda, pero también Billy ya en esa época había bajado bastante su nivel de actividad en el juego y no compartieron mucho. Desearía él haber jugado más con Tendulkar para haber aprendido un poco más de él y haberlo gozado un poco más, ¿no? Lo que sí recuerda de Billy es de que siempre le inculcó de que Boomer es el líder del equipo. ¿Por qué? Porque el Boomer es usualmente el que A, tiene más turnos, B, gracias a sus tiros, los hace mejores al resto de su equipo. Por ejemplo, si hay un knack en tu equipo, tú como Boomer tienes que saber las limitaciones, ¿no? Los pros y los contras de ese knack y del jugador que está encima de ese knack, ¿no? Entonces, de ahí es que trae bastante de su estrategia. Se acuerda de Fireal y de Katana. Katana era una muchacha que entró a 4 estrellas como amiga de todos, jugaba muy bien Boomer, y luego se sale ella y crea el clan FTC. Seguramente que ahí varios peruanos, FTC es más o menos GB Norteamérica, entonces ahí ya seguramente los peruanos se van acordando. Pero FTC se crea y se salen algunos de 4 estrellas para entrar a FTC porque ya 4 estrellas comenzaba a morir. Estaba tan inactivo que los que hicieron amigos se salieron y formaron FTC. Entonces, ahorita vamos a hablar un poquito más de lo que viene después de 4 estrellas. Pero en general es hace ya tanto tiempo y el clan estuvo tan inactivo cuando él entró que se acuerda poco de los jugadores de 4 estrellas. Sin embargo, tiene contacto con varios de ellos y vamos a tratar de conectar por ahí. Fireal. Hey, Andy, where was Fireal from? Singapore?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually do not remember.
Okay, and Abby was also 3rd generation 4 stars, right?
That is correct.
Okay, entonces les quiero contar un poquito de 2 jugadores que están grabados en mi mente mucho. Fireal era un Ice realmente increíble. Probablemente de todo lo que he jugado GB, top 5 Ice de toda la historia. Muy preciso, no era ni rápido ni lento, le gustaban los ángulos bajos y altos, o muy bajos. Entonces era imposible quitarle el ángulo como Ice, siempre. Y me acuerdo también mucho de Abby. Este también es un 4 estrellas de tercera generación. Desi Turtle, wasn't it? And he played Ice.
And, yes. And I also remember 2 other names that I actually are actually 3rd gen as well, if you want to know them.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember Max Animosity?
I don't.
Oh no, he came in.
What mobile Max?
He's a Trico player. Trico. He is older gen too.
Is he what guild was he in before?
I don't actually remember what guild he was, but he spiked in the scene. Honestly, like he went from 0 to 100 really quick. So
I think it was 44. I think that's why I'm confusing you with 44.
Ah, I see. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he is. I think I remember his name Max. I think that's him. I'm pretty sure he was in 44. And then who else?
Wait. And also one other player is, remember Alex Moles?
Moles. What was he? What mobile?
He was Boomer.
I don't remember him. And so, tell me about any guild wars that you remember after this one with PF4. Any tournaments, guild wars, or memorable matches that you recall?
No memorable matches. I just know I got 2nd place in one of the tournaments, and that's all I got. So, yeah.
Which tournament was that? Who did you play in that tournament? Do you remember at all?
Oh, dang, I don't remember who I played. I just remember...
The 1v1, 3v3?
There was a Xeno guild that was just straight up, you know, not missing. I'll just say that. I think they were also in the finals too, and it was just us. But other than that, I don't know. It's remember the silver avatar that we went? It was like silver, bronze, and gold. The headset.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just remember that was the tournament where one of my big tournaments there. So.
Okay, got it. Got it.
If you have any more for that, I really don't know any more additional context for that, honestly.
No problem. So to translate, otros jugadores de 4 estrellas eran Abby, Desi Turtle. Este jugador, yo me acuerdo de este jugador porque ese jugador me ganó una final de 1 versus 1, él jugando Ice. Me acuerdo de Abby. Y dije que lo odio, pero lo recuerdo mucho con mucho cariño porque era un buen amigo, siempre de buen humor, siempre contento, o sea, como que hasta cuando erraba o cuando tú no fallabas, siempre de buen humor. Y Noxt, como les mencionaba, el Boomer, también se recuerda de un par más de tercera generación, son Animosity, un nombre Max de Trico, y Moles de Boomer, de los cuales honestamente no me acuerdo. Y le pregunté también si se recordaba de alguna batalla, Guild War o torneo, y se acuerda de haber perdido una final, quedó en segundo puesto, no se acuerda contra quién, era básicamente un clan que no fallaba, pero debe haber sido más o menos la época de GB Norteamérica porque habían premios de Avatar del servidor, entonces, ¿was this in North America or before, prior to?
I believe it's North America. If my memory serves, it's North America.
Got it. All right. So now I've got some other questions for you. Now, tell us the story after 4 stars, I guess, FTC or Argonaut. I'm really interested to learn more about you guys now.
Oh, I see. So, should we jump forward to Argonaut, or you want to know the history before that?
I do. I want to know the history before that.
Dude. So, I don't remember myself being FTC, to be honest.
Okay.
Just a heads up. So.
I don't think so. Again, I don't think so. But so what I'm saying is, FTC was basically created when in the twilight days, in the last days of 4 stars, though, right? Because a few members of 4 stars left 4 stars to join FTC, if I recall correctly, right?
That's true.
And that's kind of when 4 stars started kind of dying.
That is correct. Yeah, that's when 4 stars started dying, and basically we also made a separate guild too, as well, with me, Avi, and Kat. So we named it, I believe, Micro Guild.
Okay.
Micro Guild. So that was the guild. That was just a fun guild with a few of us 4-star members and a few of others, such as, I don't know if you remember Alan. I forgot his IGN. And there's also Korean Inno. I don't know if you remember him also. He's Ro.
What's his ID?
Korean Inno. I don't know how to spell it.
Was it Korean with a 4 instead of an A?
No, it wasn't. It's another person.
Okay.
But yeah, he doesn't necessarily have a main. He just plays a combination of other mobiles. So he was also part of that guild too. And it wasn't a competitive guild, but it's basically just us understanding that days are not going to be the same as it used to be. So it's one of the guilds that we decided to make. So
understand.
Yeah.
And then what comes after that? I guess when do you guys move to Classic, and when is Argonaut born?
Argonaut. So Argonaut was born off of me and Austin Lix.
Yeah.
So the story, it's very funny, because the story behind that is that when we finally entered Git's guild, a lot of people wanted to recruit us to their guild. So one way to counter that is, let's make our own guild. So we made our own guild to avoid us being asked to join guilds. And that's how Argonaut was made.
That's a good way to shit on everybody, Andy. Nice.
Yeah, so Argonaut is based on an anime, actually, so it's based on anime. Just a heads up for all those who don't know.
This is an anime that you and Austin like?
Yes, it is. So it's how to get. Oh shoot! I forgot the name. It's just Danmachi. I just know it as Danmachi. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? I believe is the name of that. So it's a good anime. I recommend it. You know, don't let the name fool you. But that's how the guild was made. We both decided on the guild name. We both like anime, and we both like to continue with that trend. And also, yeah, that's how it came to be.
Okay, understand. Let me translate that. Entonces, un poco de historia de post 4 estrellas. Al nacer el clan FTC, como les decía, comienza a morir el clan 4 estrellas. Entonces se separa FTC y él no es parte de FTC. Él se separa con Abby, Desi Turtle y Kat. Crean otro clan, Micro Guild, y aceptando o reconociendo que ya los días de 4 estrellas habían pasado, ¿no? Entonces, un poco incompleta, se podría decir, la historia de la tercera generación de 4 estrellas. No llegaron a gozar el clan en su apogeo y no llegaron a participar de muchos torneos porque no había, digamos, ya un líder poniendo presión o ¿no? incentivando al equipo. Ya estaban casi todos retirados. Bueno, y después de eso se mudan al GB Classic. Nos cuenta de que ahí en el GB Classic se lamenta de haberle, cuando le tocó la puerta nuevamente a Tendulkar para que vuelva a jugar, le presentó el juego en la forma de GB Classic que no le gustó para nada a Tendulkar. Entonces no se incentivó en jugar. Pero juegan League of Legends juntos, entonces Billy todavía sigue jugando videojuegos, todavía es la misma persona competitiva que siempre hemos conocido, así que por ahí que vuelve, lo incentivamos. Y nace Argonaut, esta parte es chistosa, nace Argonaut a raíz entre él y Austin, un jugador de Tortuga que su ID es Leaks, con doble X, ya que cuando se mudan a Hits, muchos clanes intentaron reclutarlos. Entonces, como para no ser reclutados y no tener esa conversación incómoda de no gracias, crearon su propio clan. Así que básicamente todos los que están en Argonaut son los que vienen de Classic que no quieren tener clan. Eso es. Ok, sigamos. All right, so now let's talk about your mates now. Tell me some of the best players in the team. I know some of them are just friends and not serious players, but some of them are, and some of them are old players still, like Kyle and others. So I know Austin got married, I believe, and so he's a little bit away from keys lately. That's obviously understandable. But tell me a little bit about the active players like Hemi and some of the best ones in Argonaut.
Yeah, well, we're still, so we had a little issue with Hemi, so personal reasons. So once he has his stuff straight, then he's more than welcome to join back the guild when he's ready. So I just want to say that. So
sure. Yeah,
please come back, Hemi. Hopefully you're listening. We'll have you back. So
otherwise, I'll recruit you, Hemi. Fuck yeah.
Oh man. So we can go down the list too, I guess, with the players that I have.
Yeah,
so
please.
Yeah, or did you want me to you want to say a name and I can talk about that person?
No, because I don't really know. You guys change your names a lot, and I don't know who's who. And you guys search up your accounts a lot, and I'm always confused. Like, are you Andy? It's like the Spider-Man meme that points at each other. Like I'm always like, are you Andy? Are you Andy? Who's Andy? No. Where's Andy?
So the reason why I change my account over so often, I'll just say that for myself, is because I hate the wand rank with a passion. So I always change my account every time I hit wand.
As soon as it turns to wand, okay.
And yeah, so I would always switch that with another IGN because it's just how it is. And now I have 7 accounts that are like wand. Just a heads up. So that's the reason why I changed my account.
All good.
Just a heads up for anyone who wants to know and the reason for that.
You don't have a reason to use a fake account or hide from. Yeah, I know. No worries. So let's. I want you to make that list of the players now, because I might know some of them, I might not.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and pop up the list because obviously I'm gonna forget someone. But first off, I think many of you would like to know about Bombay, the boomer
Yes,
player.
that's
I
one
believe
of
I
my
can start with that.
favorite players. So
Mhm.
I have some questions about. So quick, before we start with the list, you guys have met the Vietnamese players, right? The top Vietnamese pros, top notch,
Mhm.
and all those guys, right?
Mhm.
So that was one of our previous interviews. So I'm asking the question that came up in that previous interview, which was: is Bombay a formula player or is he all field?
So I'll let you know that Bombay has adjustments. He is mainly a sixth angle 60 player. So for all those you don't know, so he has a bit of formula in him, of course, based on the adjustments based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And what defines him versus others that he is the mastery of angles that he knows. And that's what makes him one of the top boomers, I believe, in the Gunbound server. Because of the
Yeah,
mastery of his own angles and his own knowledge on those, what he knows. So,
understand. So he
and
does not use any like divisions on his screen. He does not use any win charts. Does he use any formulas? Act like when he plays.
so, I can't say for sure, but one thing I know for sure that Mike is he's adept with math. And he loves to use these concepts like square roots and whatnot to get the angle that he needs. And one
Okay.
thing that not a lot of people know about Bombay is that he works his butt off in trying to understand wins and understand the shots that he does. And he gets
I'm sure.
mad. Yeah, he gets mad every time
Yeah.
when the shots don't go his way. But that's because he's trying to understand how wins work, and that's very respectable for me at
Oh yeah.
least.
I respect him. I totally
Yes.
whatever his style is, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And you don't get to that level without that much practice. He's one of my favorite players to play against today.
Agreed. And yeah, more practice, it shows. That's how he became to be one of the best, I believe, in the game. And yeah, we respect him for him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's tough to beat him. Always tough to beat him.
Agreed. I have a hard time beating him sometimes too, but one thing that he definitely needs to work on is part of it is his strategy, of course. But once he gets that out of the way, he is gonna reach another ceiling, to be honest. Once he has that thorough thinking and fixes his portion of his strategy, he is gonna be unstoppable. So
He's somewhat of a newer player, you would say.
I wouldn't say he's somewhat of a newer player, but it's just
How
he's
old?
been he's in the
How
ranks.
long have you known him?
I've known him for quite some time. I didn't realize of actually I known him since the first years of COVID, so 5 years ago or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we met on the English server actually, and he was always good back then. He's good now still. So
Okay. Got it. So
yeah.
he's an older player then. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So who is next?
All right. So next person you probably want to know is basically Jin. I don't know what his IGN is now, but he's the one person that changes his IGN a lot. So I think right now he has it as Marine. So if you see him, that's him.
What does he play?
He plays Turtle, mainly Turtle, and he also plays Ice and Boomer. So he plays a range of a lot of mobiles too. Sometimes Ruon as well. So and sometimes Knack, but his Knack needs a little bit of work here and there. But everything else he's actually really good
What
at.
other IDs might I have?
Sun. Dang. He changes so much. I really forgot, lost track of all the other IGNs. But he's the only one that changes his IGN by the way, so everyone else gets his IGN. So that's a good sign to at least figure out who he is. Alright, just a heads up. Okay.
Got it. Who's next?
Alright, you have Kyle, right? Kyle?
Yeah.
Striker player? Yeah.
Kyle, yeah.
Yes, he's actually a slice player like me, actually. Oh, for those who don't know, I'm a slice player, so I slice like all the time. I don't use drag at all. So only for 4.0s or to beat people's delays when I need to. Alright,
Yeah.
back on. Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
man,
Kyle,
that's cool.
yeah. So
Yeah, I go way back with Kyle.
Yeah.
And what do you remember what guild Kyle was in way back then?
Oh, that's a good question. I wish I know it, but I forgot it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
He should be one of our next interviews. I'm sure
yes.
there's a ton of
Dude,
people too.
he's a very likable guy, to be honest, out of this world. And also, I know Austin met him in real life, and they had a blast. So
Nice. That's
he's
awesome.
definitely one to talk to if you want to get an interview with him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's not too far from me. I would like to. I'm in Florida. He's in Tennessee, I think. So, yeah, not too far.
Yeah, yeah.
One day. So then, all right. So, who else is next?
All right, next, our famous Yan, Japan Yan.
Yes.
Yes, so.
She's so nice.
Yeah, she's one of the nicest people I've met. Very good friend of mine. We've grown closer throughout the time we are in the guild, and yeah, she's coming on better and developing better as a player and as a person, and I really like that from her. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, she's great. She's always impressed by my shots. I like her.
Oh,
she's the only one that says nice shot to me anyhow. Nobody says nice shot to me anymore. Nobody says nothing nice to me anymore. Only her.
Don't worry, friend. I'll say nice shot to you on my alternate account, so you know it's me.
I don't care. But yeah, she's super nice. All right, who's next?
All right, next one you got Alaye. I don't know if I said that right.
Yes, great player. I've seen that ID play Turtle and Knack. Am I wrong?
So the weird thing is, he knows every mobile. He plays random on the daily, but somehow he switches to those other mobiles, I guess. Turtle and Run. And he also is a good boomer player too, although he never plays it. Just a heads up. Yeah. He's he's on now time to time, and yeah, he's also a Filipino, I believe, just like me as well. So.
Oh, okay. But he lives in the U.S.?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. I feel like he doesn't live in the U.S. I feel like, but I think he's in the Philippines right now. But I'll ask him just in case, just to confirm. So don't take my word for granted.
Okay. There's an ID.
Oh, very flexible player. He's actually one of the most creative people I know in terms of type of shots he wants to do. So he will go for. So his name is actually GB. No cap. His name is actually GB.
GB.
That's his name.
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe he's a really good knack player like yourself too. I believe like he goes for these type of unorthodox shots.
That was you.
Well. That was not me. It's someone else.
Dude.
You thought it was me? Wow. Yeah. Well, if you meet him, let him know, I guess. Unless he's watching right now.
I wanna play with him. Yeah, I thought it was you. All right. I'm so happy to learn. All right. Who else?
All right. So next on the list is Ice. So Turtle, Ice.
Okay. Turtle player.
Yeah, he's also a Turtle player. He doesn't play Ice, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, he's also a pure field player, by the way. So
awesome.
Really awesome guy. We always like to chat sometimes on Discord as well, in terms of like just typing chats. But yeah, he's a really good person. So yeah.
We got more?
Let's see. We have 3 others. I guess I go down to the rest of the list. Past me.
Yeah.
Alright, Orca? That's Kent. I don't know if you've seen him around.
I don't think so.
So Kent goes on seasonally, so he should be on during these coming months actually. So you get to see him and how good of a tribal player he is.
Nice.
So a little bit of background. Me and him used to be in the Philippines server, and we were in the 4 Stars PH guild together.
Interesting. So what year?
This was before 4 Stars, of course. I don't remember what year exactly. Maybe 2008, 2009. It's definitely before 4 Stars, though.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you didn't play the international server. You played the Philippine server.
Yes, we had a Philippine server.
Sweet, man.
I believe, yeah. And that's where I met a lot of other Filipino players before the merge, I believe. So, yeah.
Got it. So wait, what was the merge like? So GB Philippines went away and you guys went to North America?
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so yeah. And yeah, if you see him, say hi, I guess.
yeah, I will.
Yeah, he's not shy, but yeah, he's really good, like I said, a good striker player. And he also plays Turtle as well, so those 2 mobiles that I absolutely hate playing, just a heads up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to learn it. Like my playstyle is I gotta learn from other mobiles. So I always play these other mobiles just to understand how to counter them as a boomer player.
Right,
That's the only way I learn. Yeah, that's the only way I teach myself.
Yeah.
Hands-on experience.
Exactly. Very cool. And we got, I guess, 2 more, right?
2 more. So we got the next one as Natsu. It's Eric. Have you ever met him? Yeah. Very good tarot player. And he is also my guild master for Requiem Guild, if you remember that guild.
Yeah, Requiem. Correct question. Was Natsu ever in 4 stars?
No, he wasn't.
Okay. I understand. Alright.
But he is a very good tarot player nonetheless. And we did have our video that shows all of our players if you feel like watching it. So just to get back on memory lane. Yeah.
Sure. If you have it, link me.
Yeah, I'll link you after the podcast. Unless you want to look at it now.
I don't think, if Renato can show it, that'd be great. I'm interested. And who's your last player?
Last player is Bear, Andrew Bear. Boomer player.
What's his ID?
BEAR.
Bear. And his name is also Andrew?
Yeah, also Andrew, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So that's not you. Okay.
Yep. He's also, he plays Boomer. And he's also same as Bombay in terms of mastering the angles that he knows. So.
Okay. So, alright. I'm gonna quickly translate a bit. Le pregunto un poco de Argonaut ahora. No, ya sabemos cómo se formó. Entonces, los jugadores que tiene son, obviamente, Sekz. Está de los activos, Bombay. Me dice que le pregunto la pregunta que hizo con Koch en la entrevista anterior, que si juega alfil. Me dice, no está 100% seguro, pero sí sabe que Bombay, lo que lo diferencia a Bombay es de que los ángulos que sabe, los sabe al 100%. Entonces, por eso es de que, y los practica mucho, por eso es de que es tan bueno en Boomer. Y por eso falla tan poco, porque ha perfeccionado esos ciertos ángulos. Kyle, el jugador de Trico y NAC, y también juega Sapo, mi causita de hace muchos años. Japan Yan, la muchacha del clan Argonaut, que siempre hace lives en Twitch. Muy buena gente ella. Alaya es un jugador bueno, dice que juega random, así que juega todos los móviles. Alaya, yo lo tengo en mi lista, juega muy bien. Hay un jugador de NAC, lo cual me alegra mucho. Su ID es 4 o 5 veces la letra O, y se llama Gibi. Muy buen jugador, muy creativo. Yo pensaba que era Sekz en otra cuenta, así que ahora que me entero que es otra persona que juega NAC, se viene su video. Luego está Ice, un jugador de Tortuga de feel puro. Orca, un jugador de Trico, que juega de vez en cuando, como que por temporadas, y ahorita va a volver a jugar, así que se viene un pro más en Argonaut que vamos a ver de Trico. Natsu, que ya está un poquito inactivo, y Bear, jugador de Boomer y también se llama Andy, así que nada confuso. Bueno, hasta ahí hemos llegado. Ahora se vienen un poco más de preguntas en cuanto a las picantes, así que alright Andy, so I've got a few questions and it's time to spice things up. So alright, so first spicy question, give me the top 5 players in Argonaut today.
Oh, am I included?
Yes, you're included. And in order, and to be honest, do not BS me. I want the top 5 in Argonaut right now. And nobody's gonna get offended. That's just your opinion.
Dude, that's crazy. That's a question I did not expect to get, honestly. Dude, I don't want to single out any of my players, especially.
No, you're not gonna single out anyone, but you know, just like
all right.
Who should we be looking out for as you know, the community likes to play against the best, and so in your opinion,
I see.
Your opinion, you know, we just want to go out there and see the best IDs and match up, right? So who are we looking out for?
So in this question, when you mention the top 5 players, do you mean the top 5 to form any team of 3, or do you mean just the top 5 players based on skill level?
I would say skill level.
Okay. Well, you got, I believe you got Bombay on top. Highly accurate, highly reliable. All reliable for sure.
Number 1, Bombay.
Okay, and then you got Bombay for number 1. You got Jin for number 2. Same thing, same concept. He could play a bunch of mobiles that would be fit in the combination as well. So Jin is number 2. Right now it's Marine.
Oh, Marine. Okay, got it.
Yes, right now it's Marine. Now this is where it gets tricky. The next person I believe would fit in nicely into that third spot would be aka Kent Orca. And when you see him, you'll understand why I say he's number 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you'll see him a lot more, hopefully. I'm gonna go and post this stream and make sure he comes in more often. So,
nice.
Yes. So look out for him. He's a really good player.
Nice.
And number 4, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Eric Natsu, turtle player.
Okay. Yeah.
Once he gets out of his shell, he is a menace to be reckoned with too as well. So look out for him, and he matches nicely with the other team members as well.
Yeah.
And last is basically the toughest decision. It's either between Jano and O. So out of those two, I would have to go. I always emphasize flexibility and also reliability. And both of these players, both of them are really good at their mobiles in terms of what type of what type of bots they play. And I think I'm gonna go closer to O in this case for number 5, and Jano for number 6.
Okay, so you're not even in the top 5.
I'm gonna say top 5 is gonna be with. Yeah, I'm not in top 5. I'm retired. I'm not gonna put myself in top 5.
Okay, all right. All right, sounds good.
And I want to give the sunlight to my guild and how incredible this guild is. And I wouldn't be myself without them. So I'm not gonna put myself on the list, and I'm gonna give them the light.
Sure. I like that. Give me 1 second because my phone is dying. All right, so I've got another question to spice things up. I want to know who is your top 5 boomers. Let's say top 5 boomers all time.
All time? MG, that is the toughest question ever. Because my criteria for top 5 boomers is not based on whether you can hit or not, but it's based on who I've experienced playing with, because I don't want to assume a person's good just because someone else says that they're good. Just heads up. So my answers dictate on what I've experienced based on the players that I played with.
Exactly.
So all time, so just heads up. So the top 5 players, wow. Top 5 boomer players, dang. Alright, so number 1. Hey, this is a tough question. I should have known. I should have got the answer to this question.
You should have known.
Should have known, yeah. But let's go with let's go with the influencers right now. Let's go with that. Top 5 players. Well, everyone knows now that I have a huge, I guess I respect tremendously with Nox and Billy. Those are the 2 players that I like the most, so they would definitely be on the top 2 for me, in my personal opinion. And I would go to my hands on Nox just because he's the reason I am who I am to be in terms of play style. So I'll give him number 1 and Billy number 2. So we'll go with those 2, okay?
Got it.
And next one, number 3. Oh, this is gonna be tough and spicy. Oh God, this is a very spicy question, to be honest. So thank you for putting me on spot here.
I know.
And I'm trying to understand, of course not understand, but remember other boomer players that I've played with. So go with that. But
I'll let you finish, and then I just thought of another question.
Oh sure, I'm looking forward to that question. But yeah, hold that thought, please. I think I'll put. Ooh, this is gonna be such a hard decision. Well, currently I think, let's say the meta has shifted to high angle now, right? Gits is more high angle focused versus back then where low angle was dominant. So I also have to take that to consideration. Yeah. And right now I would put. Ooh, this is such a hard question because I have a list of names I believe in my head, but it's just, You got so much. I don't even rank myself as a top 5, honestly. Well, right now. But I would like to put myself on a top 5. I would be basically, I would say I'm number 5 out of that list. Number 5. Just because.
You probably have to be on that list,
Yeah, I believe I deserve. I should have more confidence in myself too. So.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I know you're humble, but historically, you're in there probably, most likely. In my book, in my top 5, Yeah,
and thank you for that, by the way, Efrain, for making me who I am. It was blood, sweat, and tears.
There's so many boomers, right? So it's tough. I know it's tough, but you're in my top 5. That's my top 5. I don't know about other people.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate your opinions. And I know that as a player of your caliber and seeing my professional growth as a player, and also as a person too, that really respect to what you said about me. So thank you.
Sure.
And we have missing the next 2, right? Number 3 and number 4.
Yeah, those are your 3 there are very good. I agree so far.
Well, I had to put Bombay over that list too, above me, of course. And he would.
Fair.
I'd say he would accompany the number 3 spot.
Fair.
And the last one is actually it's gonna be a spin-off. I'll say that. I'm gonna name one of the players from the Vietnamese server as the top 4 for now. Just because, one, I watched him play for quite some time, and I think he's a very good player in the master of the interface measuring.
Yeah.
And I'll put that as Kadik. I'll put him as number 4.
Yeah.
I actually like him as a player. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you know him. All right. So let me quickly translate. Primero le pregunté su top 5 dentro de Argonaut. Top 5 mejores jugadores de Argonaut. Y él no se puso en esa lista porque se considera que ya está un poco retirado. Entonces, la lista fue Bombay número 1. Luego fue Marine. By the way, what mobile does Marine play?
Shoot, I forgot what mobile he plays. What does he play?
Oh, he's just a really good player then. All right.
He's a really good player. Yeah, I don't think he has a specialty, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was Bombay number 1, Marine number 2, and was it the trickle player, the one that's gonna come back?
Player coming back. Wait, who is that?
Kent.
Oh, Orca, Kent.
Yeah,
that is right. Okay.
Number 3.
Marine. Okay, sorry. Marine plays. Sorry, Efrain. Let me pause you on that. Marine plays. Sorry, I'll just say Marin or Maureen. Yeah, Maureen. His main mobile is actually, I believe, Turtle. Just for information.
Turtle. Okay, great. So we've got Bombay número 1 de Boomer, Marine de Tortuga número 2, Orca número 3 de Trico, número 4. Who was number 4?
Sorry. Number 4 is going to be...
Number 5 was OOOO.
Number 5 is OOO, and number 4 was Natsu Eric.
Natsu, ok. So, número 4 es Natsu, que está inactivo ahorita, pero cuando regrese es muy bueno, muy buen trico. Y número 5, el NAC, OOOO. Y también le pregunté los top 5 boomers de toda la historia. Una pregunta muy difícil porque él como boomer... ha visto muchos, entonces pone a Noxt como número 1, a Tendulkar como número 2, pone a Bombay como número 3, pone a Kadik como número 4 y se pone a él mismo como número 5. Una muy buena lista de top 5. Probablemente la sorpresa ahí para mí es Noxt. No sé si lo pondría tan alto, pero esa fue la mayor influencia, el boomer que más influenció el juego de Andy, Sexy. Entonces, para él, su top 5 es Noxt. Entonces, all right, great. I've got some other questions for you, Andy. Let's see. I want to learn, I want to know, so outside of Argonaut and, or not just Argonaut, but outside of you, I want to know your top 5, be it players ever, rivals, and from other guilds or other teams throughout the years that you've met, the people that were the toughest opponents for you that you can remember, right?
All right. So this is basically between Vietnamese server and our server, by the way?
Yeah, even back then, even when you were in 4 stars, any players that you like, any other non 4 stars or any great players that you remember throughout the years in general, top 5 players, or top 5, top 7 players, basically, that you recall ever.
And you're hitting me back on memory lane here, trying to remember. But I'll try my best to answer. So one player that I want to say that I mentioned before is one of them back is I can tell you one guild that's super hard to beat sometimes.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Vanu. Have you remembered him?
Ranu with Rice.
Ranu with Rise, yes. He is a really good strategist, really hard to beat. Yeah. I believe he's out there too. One of the top 5, 7 for sure. Really good player. Yeah. I agree with that.
I agree. Yeah. Ranu is tough opponent. Tough opponent.
Everything. And you remember the GM for O2 Guild? Kudos to him as well. Melancholy?
I think so. Yeah, O2. Yeah. Who else was in O2? I remember.
Yeah, I remember him. I don't know if Austin
was in
O2.
Players it's not a player. I remember my friend Jimmy. I think Jimmy Illusion came out of O2, I think.
O2, yeah. Yeah. He's also, And kudos to him. I believe I heard he passed away, so I just want to give my respects to him as well.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear. That's such a loss.
Yeah. All right. Well, next one, I believe Guild 44 has a lot of great players, of course. One person that I can think of right off the head is Levis, the Trico player.
I remember him. Yeah, 44. I think maybe that's who I was confusing Max with. So Levi, I remember him.
I see Levi. Yeah. So one of the first in the stages I'm trying to develop was going against him. He is very tough to beat. So kudos to him.
Awesome.
And also his sidekick too. Well, not sidekick, but the other Trico player. I believe Kin was super good back then. I was always amazed by him, and got to know him better as a guildmate. When I was with the guild definite with him. So, he is super good back in the day. He has good feel along with his memory. So very fast.
Yeah, very creative player too.
Very creative player too. Same as Sunny as well. I'm gonna give him the spotlight too. Also, kudos to him as well. And Sunny is intelligent.
He's turtle, wasn't he? Or
he was a turtle player, yes.
What guild was he in? 44?
He was actually with me in Sonata Guild. And then he was also, I think, was he in 44? He might have been 44, but we met in Definite Guild as well.
I remember him. I totally remember Sunny. Yo sí me acuerdo de él. Pero yo me acuerdo que jugaba Tortuga, pero no me acuerdo en qué caña estaba. Okay, so he in another server he joined Ascens, Renato's guild, so we remember Sunny. Okay, so you got Sunny in there. Who else?
Oh, another top player. That's outside of Guild 4 stars, correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
Guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
One person that I never can beat in 1 versus 1, Austin. I think he deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, Austin Licks.
Austin Licks, yes. And the reason why I put him up there is because he can play almost every mobile. So. Yes.
For a while.
And I think that rounds off my list for now. I believe that's 5.
Very cool. All right. Now I've got some just last 2 questions here. First of all, why do you guys not like to participate in serious tournaments or with camera or it's been a while that you guys haven't participated in tournaments. There's been a lot of tournaments lately. There's a new server, a Peruvian server called Gunbound, that has a lot of sponsored tournaments. So people make money. It's not a lot, but it's fun and it's competitive. Would you guys be willing to participate in any of these tournaments that sometimes require you to share your internal screen or your external screens?
Well, actually, that's a very good question. I'm glad you brought it up, honestly. And honestly, we are looking forward to, at least me personally, I would love to compete. I think one of the main reasons why we choose not to compete is the camera setting. I know a lot of us are either due to personal reasons or not willing to use the camera, so it's respectable in a sense like that. And I know there's others too that just aren't comfortable in the competitive setting, and I gotta respect their wishes as well. And just a heads up, Argonaut Guild is not made to be a competitive guild to begin with, right? So it's just we're just a guild of friends who like to play a game of Gunbound, and that's all there is to it. And we are always available to branch out of our box and compete. But it just depends. Yeah, it just depends on everyone else's opinions and what their goals are going forward. So.
I asked that with the only intention of inviting you guys to join the competitive scene, because you're some of the best players out there. I know some people are very competitive in your guild, and not necessarily with Argonaut like you said, but there's definitely a nice little team that you could form there. So one thing that I've been thinking of is to have a tournament based on country, like a World Cup, a Gunbound World Cup. So if that was the case, would you guys be interested in representing your countries?
Oh man. Is it US or Philippines for me?
Exactly, you get the choice. Dual citizenship, baby, you get to choose.
True, but I really don't know other Filipinos that still play the game other than me and Kent, so that's also an issue.
There's a few. I know one. You know one. Newbie plays Guild Survia or something like that. I've seen you play with him. Bombay plays with him.
Oh, there's also Jano as well. I forgot he also is Filipino as well. So we can actually do form a team.
You could.
And then we can also have the rest of the team, represent the USA. So I can see that happening.
All right, awesome. It's a thing. It's gonna be a thing. All right, cool. And last question that I have for you, then we'll get to some of the community questions. But before we get there, let me just quickly translate here a bit. Gente, le pregunté de los top 5 jugadores fuera de sus clanes, o sea, rivales que él se acuerda y ha tenido mucho contacto, tiene mucho respeto por estos jugadores. Número 1, Raño, de Brasil, del clan Rice. Un estratega increíble, siempre es difícil ganarle. Número 2, Melancholy, del clan al que él pertenecía, de Definite. Levi, Sunny, un jugador que perteneció a Essence, jugaba Tortuga. Y Leaks Austin, el jugador de Tortuga, también se le hace muy difícil ganarle en 1 versus 1. Entonces, esa es su lista de top 5 jugadores. Y luego le pregunté que por qué Argonaut o en general este grupo de buenos jugadores americanos no participan mucho de torneos o de juegos serios con cámara externa, etcétera. Y me dice que básicamente esa es la razón por la que hay algunas personas que por razones de privacidad o personales no se quieren filmar de externo, pero sí son competitivos. Él personalmente está muy interesado en competir, le gusta, le encanta, y por eso entró a 4 estrellas. Así que todavía está el espíritu, vamos a invitarlos a los torneos para que podamos participar, ¿no? con un equipo más de alto nivel. Y bien, tengo una pregunta más para él, que es, lo voy a tratar de... le voy a agendar un par de versus a mi causita sexy. Vamos a ponerlo contra un par de boomers de peso. A ver si acepta. All right, sexy Andy, last question for you is, will you let me pair you up with a few one-on-ones that the community would really love to see?
OMG, I can't believe you asked me that, because I am playing 1v1s, but mainly to test shots, not to be as competitive as I should be.
I hear you.
Considering
just
myself.
Like a show match, just like a show match. It's a serious game, but I want to see you play. I have my list of, obviously this is going to be an active players list that I personally would like to see you play with, but maybe we could make a poll and see what the community would like to see. But Sexy versus Hadik, I think that's a versus that I would like to see.
That's something I would enjoy doing, just because Hadik is one of the reasons why I start to learn, like the game again, just because of how he thinks, how he applies himself with Boomer, and the types of flexible shots that he does in terms of that. And he also has very good awareness with the DLA list too at the same time.
And strategy, excellent strategist. Yeah, it really is.
And
so,
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me to go against a player like that, I don't think I would do as well as I would like to, just because, one, it's just based on the competitive setting, like right now I love the game as it is, where I'm at, just because I'm still, like I said earlier, a student of the game, and I always love to strive for improvement. But with that said, I wouldn't mind having a 1v1, just to see how I am and get my foot out the door. But just a heads up, I'm only 50% of the person I am back then. I'm not as good as I used to be. So just a heads up. And, sure. And I mean, I don't think I'm a 1v1 player, to be honest. I'm all very team oriented. If you check out my streams, I always talk about scenarios and also how to improve yourself as a player in terms of who to shoot and how to make your players better.
Excellent.
And also,
I respect that. I don't love 1v1. I like it, but I don't love it. I like it. And so, I'm up for it too. I'm up for the challenge. So I think people would also like to see you play one of the best Latino or Peruvian boomers. He's in my guild, Durango. I think Sexy versus Durango would be an epic matchup. You know him?
I do, and I also put him in the top. Did you give me a top 5 boomer list?
You did. You gave us one.
I'll put it number 6 because I totally forgot about him, and I know he's a really good player, and I've seen him play competitively, and he's awesome. So
awesome. All right, so I want to see that matchup as well. I want to see another matchup. I want to see you against Bombay.
Oh, I actually want to see that too. Actually. That is, if Bombay is willing to go for it. It'll be a nice, fun competition. I know both me and him have different play styles. We approach the game differently, and the contrast would make it very entertaining just to watch.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The two completely different styles would be awesome to watch.
Yes, and I will definitely try to perfect my lifestyle because, like everyone knows, I don't use drag stabilizer. I try to avoid it. It adds a little spice to my game, of course. And slice versus drag. Let's go.
Let's go. I also would like to pair you up against myself, Knack versus Knack. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I haven't played
I want to show the world.
But...
And now, this brings me to another question, though.
Yes.
Is this you? This IGN? Is this you? T00T Toot.
That is not me.
Do you know that ID?
I do know that ID. Yes.
Who is he?
He is. What do I say? He's a turtle player. He's a cow player, and I don't know much about him.
He's a Knack player.
Oh, he's also a Knack player. Yes.
He's a cow player. Yeah, but he's an amazing Knack player.
But I don't know too much about him other than that. Honestly, we haven't really talked one-on-one. He has been playing with us for quite some time, but that's all we got. Yeah.
He's an English speaker. Okay. Anyways, I thought it was you.
Oh yeah, that's not me too. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good Knack. Speaks English. That's Andy.
All right, give me a month. Give me a month, Efrain, to perfect my knack, and then we go on 1 versus 1.
Let's do that. Whenever you want.
Yeah, sounds great. We'll stream it too for the audience to see if you want to.
Exactly, and I would also 1v1 000. I would love that.
Oh, I would love to 1 versus 1 him as well. I just am curious what type of mobiles he would like to do other than knack, but knack on knack against you, I would love to see that.
Sure, for fun. So let me quickly translate to the audience. Bueno, a gente le pregunté acerca de unos versos, ya que me gusta invitarlo porque Andy es muy buen jugador y siento que la comunidad latina no lo conoce lo suficiente, y entonces lo invito a jugar versus que serían épicos para todos nosotros presenciar, que serían, por ejemplo, Sekz contra Kadik, Sekz contra Torango, Sekz contra Bombay, ¿no? Y también él juega muy bien de knack, solo que ha dejado de jugar un poco, entonces le pedí un versus de knack también, y le pedí un versus de knack con OOOO, que es un excelente knack del clan Argonaut también. Yo pensaba que era él, como les decía, así que aceptó todos, y nada, démosle la bienvenida, y se van a comenzar a acostumbrar a ver el ID de Sekz en los torneos, en las finales, en todo. Bueno, Renato, esas son todas mis preguntas para Andy. No sé si hay alguna de la comunidad.
Bueno, ahí...
Antes de entrar a las preguntas de la comunidad, me gustaría, ¿qué tal si le preguntamos a él si él tiene alguna pregunta para nosotros? ¿Te parece?
Bueno, sí, está bien, no hay problema.
Andy, we're done with my questions. Do you have any questions on your end?
Yeah, so what is your... I have one actually big question, actually, that me and my guild sometimes talk about, I guess. So your opinion versus using increments or not using increments. How do you feel about that?
What do you mean increments?
Like, you see on Gits, like we have the 0.1 power, 0.2 power, like the lines show on the power bar on the new interface.
Oh, yeah, completely legal. That's not legal in my view.
And it's something I use quite a bit just to test, but if we do go for 1 versus 1 competition, I'm happy to just take it off and go with that. Just a heads up.
Yeah, exactly. No. We're always, it's a matter of preference. So, but I would probably say it's not. I think, you're right. JITS has that. I don't use that interface, so it doesn't even cross my mind. But we don't like to see it in tournaments just because it helps, with power, position, and it's different. And you can take it off, I believe. So that's what we would normally do.
Oh yes, I'm comfortable going on and off with it. So
yeah.
It just requires a little bit of practice, and that's all it takes.
Exactly, just a bit of getting used to, Any other questions that you would like to ask about, the community or anything that you might be curious about?
Oh, that's a good question. There's nothing I am curious about at the moment, just because I'm not a curious type of guy. I go with the flow, so surprises always get me. And when things happen, I'm always happy to jump in and react to it and go with it. So nothing at the moment. So just a heads
good
up.
Attitude. All right, all good, all good. Well, so we have some questions from the community for you. If you give us a second to translate some of those for you.
Of course, I'm happy to. Go ahead.
All right. Oh, cool. Renato.
Oh boy.
WDSS. Okay. Andy. Sorry, go ahead. Qué buena pregunta. Oh, what a cute pupper. Holy
Sorry
shit.
about that. It's just that it's about my time. So we have people home, and the dogs always bark when people start to get home. So.
Understand. One last question that the community had for you is: would you be willing to play that duel, a special mode? Have you seen boomers play like every turn is a duel, every turn is a special? Have you seen that? It's a silly mode. You ever seen that?
I play it sometimes. I'm familiar with it. Yeah. It's to practice my speed. So with slice, and I always I'm always look forward to those type of games as well.
Awesome. You gotta go, Andy, right?
Oh no, it's just people are just are home right now, so just the dogs basically. Oh, by the way, let me introduce my dog while I'm here. Yeah, so this is Boba. It's a Maltese poodle, by the way. I know some people didn't see her. Yeah, he's only 6 months old, by the way, so he's only born since March. So
Oh, cute.
yeah, he is the reason why I miss a lot, by the way. Just a heads up. So if I miss, it's because of this guy right here.
Blame it on the dog, sure. My
kidding.
dog ate my wind chart. All right.
Yeah, sorry about the
¿Alguna otra
by the way.
pregunta, Renato?
Bueno, es una pregunta mía. Si Bombay es un jugador antiguo que probablemente conozcamos, pero o sea, no sabemos quién es realmente, ¿no?
Sí, esa pregunta apareció en el momento de la conversación. Bombay es un jugador más o menos antiguo, se conocen ya de hace más de 5 o 6 años y siempre ha jugado a este nivel más o menos, o sea, siempre ha jugado bien, así que no es un jugador reciente, no es un jugador que aparece de la nada, es un jugador que viene de Classic y jugaba muy bien también. Y por cierto, la primera pregunta de Dual SS, Andy juega ese modo de vez en cuando, se mete a las salas y juega en ese modo para practicar su velocidad. Así que si hay algún torneo de eso, próximamente lo invitamos.
Sí, buenísimo. Ya, tengo acá otra pregunta. Dame un segundo que la busco. ¿Hace cuánto tiempo exactamente? Bueno, la había traducido, pero la voy a decir en inglés. How long ago exactly was the Requiem timeline?
The Requiem
timeline. So this is after so there's a guild between 4 stars and Requiem. It's Unix guild with JS burnouts. If you remember that guild.
I remember Unix. I remember that guild.
Yeah, so JS, for those who don't know, he's a 44 guild member, so very good player as well. And he's also looking forward to playing again.
Who is?
Burnouts. JS, Burnouts.
Burnouts.
No way!
He actually recently messaged me. He messaged me a few weeks ago asking for a link to Gunbound again. So hopefully that's through.
Oh my god! Please, if you have his Facebook, connect me to him.
Oh sure, I'd love to do that. Just,
Dude, I've known that guy for.
Let me know. Let me know in case I forget.
Yeah. Awesome guy.
And yeah, so this is basically past the 4 stars Fallout, right? So I've been in Unix for maybe, I want to say a year before going on to Requiem Guild. And Requiem Guild is such a great guild. Lots of great members, lots of great players.
Yeah.
So it's around that timeline, 2 years past I wouldn't say 2 years past 4 stars.
Okay, dice que Requiem es, o sea, después de 4 estrellas vino un clan con Unix, donde estaba con el jugador trico Burnout, un pro de trico.
Lo conozco, sí, muy bueno.
I think Burnout is from Singapore, am I correct? From Malaysian?
I know he's from Singapore, yes.
He is from Singapore, yeah. All right. Dude, I know wow, him and I, we know he knows the creators of PF4. He knows that dude is like a fucking, he goes way back, way back. Very old player. Anyways, yeah, so I'm hoping he comes back. Bueno, me menciona que el clan Requiem fue más o menos 2 años después de 4 estrellas, entonces viene Unix con Burnouts y después de ese clan viene Requiem, donde tenían muchos buenos jugadores, muchos pros, pero ya después de 4 estrellas.
Ok, buenísimo. Bueno, ahí Andy ha estado entrando a la transmisión y ha estado como que respondiendo uno a uno también en las preguntas. Así que ahí le está ido matando una a una, digamos. Así que de momento no hay otra. Y está súper bien, ¿no? Está súper bien. Bueno, ya para finalizar, ya casi llegamos a las 2 horas. Que pueda dar de repente el comentario finales hacia la comunidad y bueno, ya ir despidiéndonos para yo al último momento de la transmisión poder colocar el video que ha preparado para la comunidad, ¿no?
Okay, genial. So Andy, before we say goodbye, We would like to know if you have any other messages for the community, for anyone specific. You've been very proactive in answering all the questions that came up there, so thank you. Yeah, anything that you'd like to say before we go?
I know there's one question that came to mind, and I believe I wanted to answer it. How did I get my name?
How did you get your name, Sexy?
Yes, with the Z.
How did you?
So it's a very funny story. So my first IGN was sadly Math Wizard. So that's my first IGN coming forward. I was in elementary school. I did not know back then how bad the name was until later on. And so basically there was a guild who recruited me, and guess what that guild name is?
What was it?
The Gods. So,
okay.
And I was like, all right, this is a nice name. I can live with this.
Another terrible choice.
Another terrible choice. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead and change my IGN to Sekz with a Z to match the guild name. And then I was like, all right, nice, awesome. And then once that guild dispersed, and then I was just either too poor to change my name, or I just decided to embrace it. So that's the story of that, and I lived with it. So yeah.
Sexy is a good idea. It's very memorable.
Very memorable, and I know a lot of people like mistranslate the name based on their decisions, but it's okay.
All right, that's kind of silly.
Yes, and I don't mind that anyways because I am me, and I want to be remembered as my IGN, not how you pronounce the name. So, agreed.
Good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and IGNs. A lot of people, back then, people didn't really change them. Like it was just
true.
Your IGN there, and you stuck with it.
That is true. Awesome. And there's also one more thing too. That I wanted to represent. So for those who don't know me, I actually do have a mini guild Gunbound video. I'm not too sure if it's shown yet.
We're gonna show it right now.
Yeah, just show it, and this basically describes who I am as a player, and hope you enjoy it. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Andy. I know we took more of your time than expected, but you've been awesome. There was a lot to talk about. There's still more to talk about, and thank you for your years of friendship. You've always been a humble, super nice person to play with. Never, ever, ever have I had any sort of conflict with you. It's been all friendship all throughout. So, and you're one of my favorite opponents. Let's keep playing, bro. See you, man.
I'd love to say same thing to you, and also Basic as well. Like, you guys are amazing people, and I'm happy, and I enjoyed the podcast throughout this experience and adventure, of course. So thank you so much, and thank you for having me, and hope you guys, enjoy the rest of your days. That's all I have.
You too. Sí, man. I want to watch the video. Renato, ¿cómo puedo ver el video?
De momento ahorita yo lo voy a poner en pantalla y si lo quieres ver, tú ve la transmisión. Yo, sí. Ajá.
Ya, ok.
Dale.
Me muteo.
Sí.
Chao.
Chao. Nice to meet you, Andy. Goodbye. Ok, gente, yo voy a poner acá el video para ya un poco despedir el podcast. Lo voy a agrandar acá para que puedan ver el video que Andy ha preparado para todos ustedes. Los dejo.